welcome back to the Tiski Chess podcast. It is another video covering Bafana versus Benin. They're playing a World Cup qualifier earlier today in Ivory Coast. They traveled over the weekend, coming back from another banger against Lesotho. We just won 2-0 Bafit. I'm so happy. The game itself has a lot of intrigue. There was a lot of drama before the game. But Bafana, oh my goodness. Well, surrounding Utebo Mukwena, to be honest, but Bafana brought it home. So it looks good now. On paper, it looks good. We don't know if we're going to get our 3 points deducted or not, but that's what we're going to be covering. Before we get into the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video if you like the content. Let's get to it. Bafana versus Benin. I want to start with the lineup because obviously surrounding this whole thing about the Mukwena situation earlier on today. There were earlier reports on social media. Funny enough, it came from a Nigerian, whether it's a page or a news outlet, that allegedly Tebogo Mokoena was not eligible to play against Lesotho. But we'll get into it a bit more. So obviously that was the only change in the lineup that we made. Umbat and Obas came in as the defensive mids or the double pivot. If you check my video against Bafana against Lesotho, I did actually mention that I'm expecting him. I know who you're post now by now. When he's playing away, he plays very conservative. We saw Thapelo Morena was actually playing forward right. For me, he does that because he understands that Umudau, no Morena, that right channel, they understand each other well. So it's more of a defensive approach for me, pragmatic, not really attacking in a sense where we don't know Benin this time how they're going to play, because remember, we did play against them 2023. We won comfortably at home, but this time it's their home ground, so they need to show a bit of aggression. Obviously, we were expecting probably them to be more adventurous moving forward, but they didn't. This game, they were sitting back, but you know what? With this whole black cloud that was surrounding news outlets, especially here in our media, I'm guessing a little bit it tainted our game in a sense where the first half you could see maybe there was nerves, there was a bit of we're not sure about ourselves because of obviously Tebogo Mokoena, that midfield, he knows it very well. He marshals it defense very well. So I was a bit concerned, to be honest, in terms of how we're going to look shape-wise. But when I saw the game after 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so, I was kind of comfortable because Benin didn't look threatening at all. I remember even the last game against Benin, I think even the goal that they scored was a mistake from our side. I think Pesitao made a mistake and it led to just a counter attack, and it was a very soft goal for me. So look, like I said, man, now we're on an 18-game unbeaten. 2024, we didn't lose a game. And those are the kind of this is the kind of campaign that I like. You really step your best foot forward. And about Nigeria, Rwanda, whoever's behind us, they'll have to really, really work hard. Because now, all the games that are remaining, which is 5 games, I'll put it on the screen, we are playing them at home. So we know the crowd is going to be behind the boys. So look, so far so good for Hugo Broos. I think from 2021 when we didn't qualify for the World Cup, it was a very, very hard pill to swallow. By 2026, it looks promising from where I'm coming from. Special mention, man. Sbisi, I'm warming up to him. Quick shift. They looked like they've been playing together for a while. But to Sbisi, man, look, from Utotli, he profile like it's not the same because Totli is a natural left central back. But because obviously he's left-footed, naturally that's his foot that he uses. But what I loved about Sbisi as well is the fact that you can see his experience where he sticks to the basics. His game had less mistakes this time around. Utotli, don't get me wrong, is exceptional, but there are times and places, especially when it comes to his timing, then you can tell then he's still young. So Sbisi actually showed his experience this time. But this is an international stage. I mean, you can lose from a corner, a set piece, a counter attack, just one action. A second or a minute is enough to lose everything that we've been playing. So we've been very dominant. I mean, ball possession wise, attacking wise, we've been a more of a team that looks like they want to score and you want this. I'm a bit worried. I'll just say this. This is not a, it's a critique. I'm not criticizing, yes. Pesitao, I'm not too sure um, what's going on. But hey, for me, man, this time around, he lost a lot of balls, in my opinion. And as much as this was a very, look, they were sitting back, but I need more from him. Kind of reminds me that when we playing against Nigeria in September, I'm hoping he would have gained enough form from his team that he's playing, and maybe Mshishi will be back, so we can maybe have a bit of competition in the in that attacking three, because he needs to give us something, because we really him being there sometimes it feels like we are carrying him than him having to carry us. But congrats, he won his 50th cap this time around. So and congratulations to Bafana, congratulations to the technical team, congratulations to the country, man. I mean, so far, look at that squad, look at whoever comes in. I mean, there's been a lot of changes in regards to people getting call ups, but each and every player that comes in, we look better, we look more of the same, we look threatening. Whoever we play against, we actually look like a team to beat. So, so far, we're on 13 points clearly, goal difference looking good. Another thing to smile about, Zimbabwe did us a favor. They actually drew, they scored a late equalizer against Nigeria. Lesotho also gave us another throw pass where they actually drew against Rwanda. So far we've managed to, I think Rwanda, between Rwanda and Benin, I'll actually check it. We've actually gotten a good gap. So far so good. This is the last game for my international friends. Moving forward, back to domestic football from next week. So we'll be covering the Chiefs game. And I don't know when Pirates, I think Pirates and Sundowns will be actually preparing for their CAF competition. So for my side, that's all I have for you guys in terms of the game. One more thing, in terms of the controversy, just to add impetus, but it's something we're going to talk about during the week. So what had happened was, apparently, Tebogo Mokoena was not eligible to play against the Lesotho game. So he got a yellow card the first game that we played against Benin, and also got a yellow card against Zimbabwe. While I was watching SABC Sport, so what they were trying to clarify in terms of the FIFA rules, he was not supposed to play against the Lesotho game, but there is a situation where the team manager may have gotten it wrong, because at one point FIFA has their own rules in terms of him not being able to play, but CAF uses an electronic system where if a player was indeed um, not eligible to play, you would be able to see it, as opposed to FIFA having to use a manual team sheet. So our team manager may have not kept track of everything, and that's where the mistake might have happened. But we'll get clarity moving forward. The latest that I've heard is that Lesotho had, I think, 24 hours after the game to protest or to even file in a motion of them being contesting the play itself, if they were aware, and also 2 hours before the game had initially started, which they didn't exercise. So by virtue of them filing an official protest through CAF and through FIFA, it may not be upheld, meaning if that happens, we'll stick to 13 points. But if that doesn't, we'll still be on 10 points, which is still an advantage on us. So that's why Tebogo Mokoena was not available today. So there was a lot of controversy before these games. Hence, I'm saying maybe also may affected the camp. So those are the things that I know in regards to what might happen. But there's people on social media who are experts in dissecting FIFA rules versus CAF, and who actually is right, or what is fact and what is opinion. And also who was responsible in making sure that Tebogo Mokoena is aware that he wasn't not supposed to play against the Lesotho game. So that's the cloud hanging over everything that's been happening. But like I said, congratulations to Bafana Bafana once more. See you on the next episode, guys. Please do support the Disc Pod. Keep on liking the video, because it helps us, the algorithm, to push our videos to get to more audiences. And please check me out on all social media platforms and also on TikTok. For today, that's it, man. Thank you so much. Shap shap.